Winter is definitely coming. Believe it or not, I've never seen Game of Thrones. I just know that winter's coming and I'm full of cold. Okay, so welcome to the good, the bad, and the what the fucks. 10 John Cusack movies, number 1. Now, like the last one, I will not be jump cutting throughout the video. I am at the start. There's a couple of bits where I will have to jump cut, though, because there's a few things going on with John Cusack. Now, the Christian Slater one was only released 2 weeks ago. I only filmed about 3 weeks ago, and before that was Scott Atkins about 6 months before that. Then before that, it was Christian Slater a year ago. And by the looks of it, I'm filming Wesley Snipes 2 weeks time as well. So the good, the bad, and the what the fucks are definitely back. Because I have a blast doing these, revisiting old films and go, yeah, that was good. No, it wasn't. Oh dear, was it? Yeah, it was a good film. Now, John Cusack has a lot in common with Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and Christian Slater. A little bit of Wesley Snipes, but I haven't got to Wesley Snipes yet. He hasn't got much in common with Scott Atkins yet. Now, I mean that with John Cusack because he broke out in the 80s. He steady worked through the 90s, became sort of like the leading romantic man, went in a little bit of action, still going strong, and then recently he started going, what are you doing? So there has this high rocket fly going down, up, it's like a roller coaster. Just like Corey Haim, just like Corey Feldman, and just like Christian Slater. Now this is Total Film and SFX Presents Movies. I wanted to do a video about this, but I totally forgot. Is there a stripe on it? Stripe bubble bubble. But in here, making the grade, Matthew Broderick got a B, Corey Haim got a C, Corey Feldman got a C, but John Cusack is a rising star, got an A grade. He's the boy next door. While we're on about the 80s, I did pick up a Fangoria video with The Predator and The Lost Boys coming out, which I thought was an awesome find. Different story, that all together really. And just before I go into John Cusack movies, the new light is here. The lighting in the last couple of videos has been diabolical, but I do apologise, it's better than fuck all. And this bloody thing, boy! So trippy, this thing. Anyway, like when you're looking there, it's like, whoa. There's been this weird reflection on my face lately, I hate that. Just winging it. Okay, so here is 10 John Cusack movies. And they're going to be all over the place. First up, wipe the side of the screen down. I must remember to do that. This is One Crazy Summer. This is one of my favourite movies from the 80s. It takes the piss out of Godzilla, takes the piss out of Jaws. John Cusack, Jeremy Piven, Demi Moore, and Bobcat Goodworth, who's famous for Police Academy. He's Zed from Police Academy. This is a big box of Warner Brothers, very similar to the Lost Boys one up there, next to Gizmo. It's a PG. This would probably be a 12 if it came out now. The story is about a boy, like John Cusack was always like the so I wasn't going to jump cut and I just went But John Cusack was very good at breaking the fourth wall and narrating films really well. He's got that really good voice. He can really like walk a scene.
You can hear him talking in his own head.
Yeah, like that, talking in his own head and weird shit, explanation and all that. So it's quite good, but this was a total piss take of like the whole Amityville Island boat race, bullies, trying to get the girl. And it has an amazing, amazing scene where Bobcat Goodworth gets stuck in a Godzilla outfit, and it's hilarious because the guy flicks a cigar in his mouth. And at the time they were presenting this Japanese investor about what they want to do with Martha's Vineyard. I think it's Martha's Vineyard, that's a total Jaws reference. And Bobcat appears and starts trampling it like a Godzilla movie, which is absolutely hilarious. He'd be like crashing it, like, oh no. Yes, you get stuck in this thing and trashes the place. Got a good story, lots of tongue and jokes. Jeremy Piven is in here, went on to work with John Cusack a lot throughout his career. So if you've never seen it, I mean, it's really hard to get a hold of. If you look for it on eBay, it is something ridiculously pricey. And an import from America. I got this from the Video Club on Facebook, and I got this off Annie for my birthday, which is an awesome find. And this is one of my favourite VHSs. Get rid of that. Right. John Cusack popped up in, wipe the side of the screen down. That is the VHS. Okay, get rid of that. I'm just going to stand in the middle here a minute. Next up, wipe the side of the screen down. That's better. This is the steelbook of Stand By Me. Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Jerry O'Connor, Corey Feldman, Kiefer Sutherland, and yes, John Cusack does play Will Wheaton's older brother in the movie as one of the gang who, you know, basically dies at the start. Sorry, spoiler alert, basically. Spoiler alert, fully spoiled, idiot. But, for the part he's in, he's really strong about it. And obviously gives Will Wheaton, like, the lost brother, the whole downer on the whole family. John Cusack pops up. Small little role, but obviously timeless classic. Stand By Me is definitely a brilliant film. It is definitely good. And so is One Crazy Summer, sorry. So they're two good films so far, so it's not a bad or what the fuck's films. But if you've never seen Stand By Me, some people have, definitely check it out. Wipe down the screen. Okay, jump cut. Now, I told you I was getting cold and I'm boiling. I'm absolutely boiling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up. Now, John Cusack in the last couple of years, otherwise he started off strong, done some great movies, has developed a weird appearance lately. And when I mean weird appearance, I'm not talking horsey. Horsey! Now what I mean about weird appearances, like lately all these films you see, he's wearing a long black coat, baseball cap black, glasses on and gloves on, and he's always, that's the same look he's got in all these films, that's all he wears. So yeah, this is John Cusack lately, so all he seems to wear in these movies, he's always appearing with glasses on where you can't see his eyes, and a hat. So if you wipe down the side of the screen, this is Drive Hard. Oh my god, now this popped up at the end of the Christian Slater Good, the Bad, the What the Fucks. And this was the first film I watched very rapidly. Now, look at that company there, I'm not going to name that company, they've stuck a sticker on there, and can I get it off the front cover there without damaging the box? Not that I need the cover anyway, so. This movie basically best way to say it is Home Alone. Not Home Alone, it's basically Home and Away with an action side of it. Set in Australia with John Cusack and Thomas Jane. Two great established American, borderline Canadian actors. Fast, violent road trip. It starts off like an episode of Home and Away. It tries to be serious. He's a bank robber. Look, he's wearing his whole black cap. Black cap there, black coat, black hat. You know, he's doing his whole like creepy American robs a bank and hires a driver, instructor, who was a former race car driver, to go him around the streets of Australia, robbing banks and trying to get some espionage going, all meant to be for a good cause. Then the film that tries to be serious, there's a bit where this old woman turns up and she starts swearing, cocksuckering, trying to hold them at gunpoint, and gets in a fight with Thomas Jane, and John Cusack literally looks from the car and you think, wow, this film is totally bad. Now this is a bad film. It's a borderline what the fuck, because it's a whole, hey, it actually is, it's a what the fuck film. Take two established Americans, make them into an Australian role with Home and Away, and god, it's like, I was traumatised over this movie, so that is a what the fuck movie. Now I wasn't going to jump cut, but I kind of have to, because it's hot in here. I've never suited caps, never have. Never have. Wipe down the side of the screen. On that side, this is Frozen Ground, reuniting Nicolas Cage from Con Air, who was in with John Cusack. At last, the suspense to rival Seven. Sort of, based on a true story. Sort of. John Cusack takes on one of the creepiest and most terrifying roles of his career. Now, Nicolas Cage just gives the Nicolas Cage, Matthew Conner, Ryan impression going on there, the whole Nicolas Cage factor, while John Cusack turns in a really creepy performance. Based on a serial killer who basically likes to kidnap girls and go hunt them in the woods, rape them and stuff like that. It's told, I mean, it does have a lot of the original victims at the end of this movie. It is a very dark, disturbing movie. And what looks like it does normally one of them turn-in Kashmiri ones, it's an outstanding movie, it's a really good movie. It doesn't really rival Seven. It's got a bit like a Zodiac feel, where it's obviously based on real facts, so the serial killer's not so outlandish. But Cusack is really dark and really creepy, and well done to him for this movie. That is Frozen Ground. So, wipe down the side of the screen so I can walk back over there. Next up, breaking stuff, but next up, 2012, The Day After Tomorrow has come. Wipe down the side of the screen. I watched this recently. This is probably one of John Cusack's last big blockbuster movies. Now, Roland Emmerich's basically just comes up with ideas to terrorise the world and blowing up special monuments. And 2012 is what weird is when the end of the world is coming. John Cusack is picking up his daughter and ends up picking up his wife, who was Amanda Peet, who was in another film with him in Identity. And it's all a big conspiracy set years later after they discover that the world's going to end, and they make these big Noah Ark kind of things, and it's a big, like, you've got to have $1 billion to get on it. It is a big budget movie based on the idea of, like, let's have a tidal wave go over the Himalayas, basically. So that was the original concept. If you like Independence Day and Day After Tomorrow, anything Roland Emmerich has done, I was going to say, oh Godzilla. If you like anything Roland Emmerich has done, hey Zilla, Mr. Zilla, Zilla. Could never get rid of that because it was a present. Thank you very much. But it's an okay. It's not good. It's a borderline bad film. It's not a what the fuck film. I didn't think it's got any rewatchability about it. Sorry to say that, but yeah. So get rid of that. It's a bad film. So that's one what the fuck film with Drive Hard. a bad movie and 3 good ones so far. We're getting there quite quickly through this. I know it's been a bit batshit crazy. Now, can I take the coat off because this light is so hot? I'm going to start looking a bit weird on through this film. No, I'm not doing that. My name is not Scott Carrigan. I do not suit caps. Let's go. Right, okay. Wow, that light is bright. Next up, John Cusack reunites with Samuel L. Jackson. Now, based off a Stephen King novel, The Cell come out. Now, 1408 is not in this review. 1408 does have a fast forward review coming out, filmed in Spain, and will feature Chris Davies. And 1408 will be the next Good, the Bad, the What the Fox. That is an outstanding Stephen King based movie, which is terrifying, really jumpy. So the potential of this, I was like, wow, this is going to be mint. Look at the cover, it's mint. Book, never read it. Anyway, this movie, it's okay. It's not brilliant, it's not bad, but it's like borderline. It had so much potential. Story is, if you're on your phone at this certain point of time, you're going to get turned into a zombie. And basically, Samuel Jackson teams up with John Cusack, and they try to get from A to B to find out salvation. Very like Stephen King's The Stand, where people are grouping together and trying to get along. Borrows a lot from The Stand, I think, in a way. It is produced by John Cusack, and he's got his black coat on. His black coat on there, lost his hat there, but he's got this long dress and coat on there. Does have a few jumps and scares, does have a very odd, disturbing imagery of these zombies going around the cellular towers and stuff like that. It's an okay movie. I wouldn't have to say it's a bad movie because it's not good. I mean, it's got no extra features. It just feels like Samuel Jackson, John Cusack, good friends. Low budget movie, get in, tie in, but yeah, it is a bad movie. Sorry, get rid of that. So I am trying here. I mean, the thing is, we're good, the bad, the what the fuck's right. It's a good movie, it's a bad movie. What the fuck have I just watched? That is what's going on with this production. Right, next up is 2 films. Now, John Cusack came back with an absolute belter. I actually walk over here, like down the side of the screen. This is Hot Tub Time Machine. If you haven't seen that, this movie is absolutely brilliant. John Cusack stars alongside a whole lot of cast, including Chevy Chase. So basically, when they go back in time through a hot tub, that's the idea of the story. But it has so much 80s nostalgia going, long before Stranger Things and stuff like that. Some great jokes, a lot of Michael Jackson jokes, a lot of nostalgia. Crispin Glover is absolutely mint in it. Makes you want to go to a ski resort back in the 80s. It's like Ski Patrol. Oh, yeah. Ski Patrol, one of my favourite videos that's never seen the light of day. Big box VHS once again from the Video Club. Thank you very much for that. That was a great film. And again, John Cusack playing on the good heart film. It's got a lot of tongue-in-cheek, some lot of stupidity comedy. But unfortunately, John Cusack only appears briefly in an uncut version, where they replaced him with a different character in the movie, and they're going to the future in the second one. But Christian Slater does appear in that, and that has been in the good, the bad, and the what the fucks before. But if you haven't seen this, great soundtrack, great parodies, definitely check it out. The title will go, what the fuck? But it's definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth the watch. Right, we're flying through this. Now recently, I have seen, we've got 2 left. Wow, quickly through this one. So if I walk over here, wipe down the side of the screen. 80s icons, Bruce Willis, Jason Patrick. Just spat there, sorry. So happy for Jason Patrick. You know, seeing him in Lost Boys, Speed 2, Sleepers. What else have you been in? Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, you're taking paychecks right now. God, if you're just taking paychecks, why don't you do Expendables 3, Bruce Willis? Bruce Willis could be a great good, the bad, and what the fucks. Anyway, The Prince. Now, it's named The Prince because Jason Patrick's character is an ex-hitman known as The Prince. He is basically one hell of a badass, and basically comes back to town to find his daughter, who is hanging around with 50 Cent. 50 Cent is also in Frozen Ground. Could be some production connection here. And basically Bruce Willis is a big, bad mafia guy, and the Prince killed his daughter, so he wants the Prince's head. Prince comes back to town, and it's all kicking off. John Cusack pops up in this at the last minute, wearing his black coat, and basically pops up for an action scene, and then sort of just walks off, disappears. Now, I did write a review for this, but when I realised I was going to be doing that, scrapped the idea for a review. I did enjoy this, but it's not a brilliant film. It is not a brilliant film, and I would love to know where my notepad is to read out my review, but fans of them, it's an easy watch, but it's definitely a bad film. It's not a brilliant film, so get rid of the screen. I was a bit harsh and brutal about that, but you know, it's Jason Patric's quite good and it's quite funny in it. It does have some innuendos. There's a lot of Skype for foreshadowing the story, and it's great to see Jason Patric in a big role again. But it's, as I say, it just falls flat a bit, especially at the end. But I don't want to spoil it for you. Right, the last one today, and I'm shocked that we've got through this so quickly, is right beside the screen now, Jackie Chan, along with Adrian Brody and John Cusack. Now, he hasn't got his sunglasses and hat on here because he's a Roman Emperor in this one. This is dubbed, except for Adrian Brody and John Cusack. Jackie Chan is dubbed, his voice is Jackie Chan, but then it's not Jackie Chan. This movie is visually stunning. Storyline, it's more of Chinese history, which, being where I'm from, it's more like I don't get it all, that kind of thing. I mean, there made a lot more sense of the Great Wall, which I've seen recently. And I did enjoy this because it was visually stunning, funny in bits. The fight scenes were pretty brutal, very well choreographed. John Cusack plays this weird Roman emperor when they start singing and they clash against it. It's odd. That's all I can really say about it. I was talking to Casper the other day and they was like, is it any good? And I was like, it's odd. You're going to like it because it's Jackie Chan, and you're going to like it because it's John Cusack. Adrian Brody's just very disturbing and creepy in it. And it's, you know, it's got great fighting in it. So I'm going to give it a good review on that because, like, if you're into martial arts and the Asian stuff, you'd probably love it because it looks stunning. It did look stunning. It's very random. Very, very random. Right down the screen there. But no. The only thing I will criticise about the movie is, for example, he gets on his horsey and he's riding off, and as he's on his horsey travelling, it sort of shows you what's coming, but then he gets to the destination, and then the rest of the story, once he's at this location, picks up and you think, what the fuck's going on there? It's like this weird kind of editing style. I was just like, what the fuck? So anyway, about that note. Okay, so next time it will be Wesley Snipes, and I have been picking up a few Wesley Snipes films, and there will be another John Cusack one down the line with more favourites like Identity and High Fidelity. We'll get there with this. Now, this is technically just been a lightning test. So this is for Wesley Snipes movies, so next time it will get a bit strange. Because the reason I have that mask for is a proper what the fuck movie, Wesley Snipes one. And I've got some new ones to watch. I've even got one, I can't even pronounce it now, we'll have to find out what it's called. I've even got one with John Cusack, Samuel Jackson reunited once again with Wesley Snipes. So that'll be interesting. Well, thanks for watching. Check out John Cusack movies. If you're a fan of John Cusack like I am, please like this video, share it. I do apologise if I've totally butchered some films, but that's what the good, the bad and the what the fuck are about. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Okay, this is the very end of the John Cusack movies, and I'm basically about to film the new Good, the Bad and the What the Fucks, number 11 for Wesley Snipes, and I haven't even edited this John Cusack video. It's been about a week and a half since I filmed that. Now I've had a blast coming back to the Good, the Bad and the What the Fucks, and it just so happened it was going to be John Cusack or Wesley Snipes, and I've ended up watching 2 new Wesley Snipes films, so Wesley Snipes, the Good, the Bad and the What the Fucks is on the way. Well, it will be on the way when I film this. Anyways, so this film crosses over between John Cusack and Wesley Snipes, and rather than having John Cusack 2 and Wesley Snipes 2, it will be a bridge, so the same things will appear in both videos. Sort of a crossover. And this movie is Chi-raq, directed by Spike Lee. Whoa, what a film. Nick Cannon, Wesley Snipes, Jennifer Hudson, Initial Bendit. And Initial Bendit. I even missed the second one out as well. Don't even want to try and pronounce or butcher her name. Her name right there. Sorry. With John Cusack and Samuel Jackson against that's a Cell and 1408. John Cusack, Wesley Snipes. John Cusack, Wesley Snipes. Samuel Jackson will kill us for saying that. Sorry. Damn, you know what I meant. I'm sorry. But Sam Jackson's like, hey, John Cusack, what you doing? John Cusack's like, hey, Samuel Jackson, what you doing? But anyway, since this is about John Cusack happens to be one of the only white people in this movie. Except for D.B. Sweeney, who finally got returned off the aliens, but there's not many white people in this movie. And John Cusack plays the priest, and he's always looking up at the start of the movie. He's like, there's a girl person shot in the street, and he's like... And then he goes on this massive rant in the church when there's a funeral. And one thing I forgot to mention, and one thing this really forgets to mention, on the box, or even on IMDb for that matter, that this is a motherfucking musical. It started off with blackness, and someone totally wrong, I do apologise. Okay. Anyway, I am so sorry. I'm tired. It's like the day after Black Friday. Oh my god. It's Saturday after Black Friday as well. Oh. Ow. So this movie starts with a black screen and someone rapping, like talking, rapping kind of thing, and red funk going on. I was like, alright, that's very different. Then tells you a little bit about what's going on. And this is sort of like well, no peace, no pussy, basically. And it's a musical, you know, it's about the hood in... So it's about street life in Chicago and about gun crime and women taking a stand against men. And it has a bit of a music font going all over it. I'm sorry, by the way, wipe the side down the side of the screen. Wipe down the side of the screen, wipe down the side of the screen. Anyway, it's going to stop me jump cutting that being there. But yeah, it was like, I've watched it and I really enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting a musical, and it's brilliant that how many casts are in this. And I thought it was a really good watch, but it should be like, this is a musical, because if you're not expecting a musical and you go into this, it's like, what the fuck's going on here? Anyway, get rid of that. Now, it is what the fuck, because I didn't know what I was watching. I was like, what the fuck? But I enjoyed it. It's worth watching. It has a strong message there. It is funny in time. And everyone just seems to be having fun, especially Samuel Jackson, who does a lot of pulp fiction monologues, big long speeches that I couldn't get right. That's why I'm always jump cutting. Didn't get a Blu-ray release in the UK though, so you'll have to pick it up on DVD. But if you're a fan of Spike Lee films, definitely worth checking out, definitely. But when it comes to John Cusack, it is definitely a what the fuck movie for John Cusack, because he's like... And even when he has this massive like monologue when he's like the preacher preaching about everyone's going hallelujah and all that kind of stuff, it's jump cutting. He'd be like, ah! And he'd be like, fight the power, fight the power, ah! And as he's walking, he's jump cutting, so it's almost like he's Samuel L. Jackson and can do these massive monologues. And then John Cusack's like, jump cut here, in the shadow of the night, jump cut there, jump cut here, jump cut to identity and high fidelity. See, and that isn't High Fidelity, set in Chicago as well, so there we go. Ooh. Okay, so that's been a special extra ending. I'm going to film a completely alternative, different take for Shakma. Shakma the baboon. Not Shakma. Chi-raq, that's the one in Wesley Snipes, the good, the bad, and the what the fucks. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.